Hey everybody, today I'm going to share with you a recipe for a sourdough pizza crust that you can freeze par-baked and then pull out of the freezer when you're ready to put the toppings on it. It doesn't get any easier than that. I'm doing this as part of a Pizza Party collaboration hosted by Milk and Honey Heritage Farms. Let's get started. All right, I'm going to start out with 2.5 cups of bread flour. I'm going to add to that a teaspoon of salt, a cup of sourdough starter, and here's my cup of water, or excuse me, 3/4 of a cup of water, not a cup, 3/4 of a cup. Now I'm going to go ahead and get this all stirred up. Once I get this stirred up, I'm going to cover it and let it sit overnight to rise. All right, as you can see, this has risen quite a bit. And honestly, my starter wasn't even super duper active. I was actually a little worried about it, but I used discard to make a naan and it rises well, so I wasn't too worried. So what I'm gonna do now is go ahead. This will make about 3 small pizzas or 1 large one. So I've got clean hands and I'm gonna go ahead and make this into a nice ball, and then kind of set it aside and let it rise. So I'll be right back with you after I do that. All right, I've got this formed into a nice ball, and I want to share something. So remember I mentioned that my starter was not like, it was a little hungry. It wasn't completely, you know, fresh starter. It was not quite discard, but it was close. It was in between. And I thought it would turn out just fine. So what happened, if you've ever wondered how that's going to work, I had to add about a cup of flour to this because my starter was a little hungry, so it fed. And when starter feeds, it puts off liquid, so it made it like a really wet dough. And I had to add a cup of flour to it to get it like, you know, good dough consistency like you see here. And I'm going to go ahead and cover this and leave it for 20 minutes and see how that does. Now, I'm not going to just start over. I'm going to go follow me with this. Let's see what happens here. And what I love about this pizza dough is that after it rises, I'm going to flatten it out to a pizza shape. I'm going to par-bake it for 8 minutes, and then I'm going to put it in the freezer, because you should be able to freeze this dough and then cook it from frozen. So anyways, that to come, and for now I'll cover this and be right back with you. All right, this is risen enough, and I'm gonna go ahead and turn this dough out on a cookie sheet, and I'll be right back with you. All right, I've got this rolled out. I'm going to put this in the oven for 8 minutes. All right, I just took it out of the oven. We cooked it for 8 minutes. And you can see it's a little cooked. It's not cooked all the way. And the reason I'm not cooking it all the way is because I'm going to let this cool, and then I'm going to put it in my freezer. And I'm going to give you guys a review after I pull it out of the freezer and cook it. So I'll be back with you. I've just taken this out of the freezer, and you can see it's all par-baked, ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and put this on a cookie sheet and get all of the toppings on there, and I'll show you what we put on it. So the first thing you see me putting on here is a base of like refried beans, but they're not refried beans. I didn't have those. I had canned black beans that I smushed up so they were like refried beans, and they're healthier for you anyways. So beans as a base, and then you'll see me putting some cheese over that. I added onions, I added sliced olives, and of course some like hamburger meat or ground beef to that. I did the grass-fed ground beef. Did you know grass-fed ground beef is actually anti-inflammatory? Anyways, I put that on there, and then what you don't see me doing is I also sprinkled a little bit of mozzarella over the top of all of it because the hubby wanted some mozzarella on there. So I did that. I put it in the oven. The oven was set to 450 and I cooked it for 8 minutes and pulled it out, and voila. The final result, like a taco pizza, kind of like an Indian taco is what I was thinking of. And we love those. And this was really good. I love this recipe for the sourdough pizza crust. And I love that you can par bake it and have it in the freezer and handy whenever you're ready to make it. Just keep in mind that when you first freeze it, keep it on the cookie sheet so that it stays flat for when you pull it out, so it doesn't like get bowed or anything. And you can actually cook it from frozen, so that's another thing. You can add stuff on there while it's still frozen if you wanted to, if you were in a hurry. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this and give it a try. And go check out the other videos for this Pizza Party collaboration over at Milk and Honey Heritage Farms. I will put the link down in the description box below. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. And remember, everybody, till I see you next time, keep your joy.